So what I'm going to explain to you guys today is called Dungeons and Dragons. Many of you probably have heard of it before. Some of you might have even played it. But for those of you who haven't, I'm going to explain to you the 5e version. So in Dungeons and Dragons, it's basically just like this wild way for you and your friends to tell a story together. It involves conflict resolution, battles, um, uh, wits, strategy, all sorts of things. And to do that, we have dice. You have a d20, which is 20 sided dice. 20 being, if you land on a 20, being the best possible solution, and a 1 being the worst possible solution. You also have a d4, d12, d8, d10, d6, and then some people have like percentage dice as well. So all those dice are used to determine how you will or how an event will take place. So if a DM or dungeon master who is the guide along your journey, the person who is telling your story, they will present you with a problem. Say there's a river in front of you and there's like a rope bridge. How do you proceed? You can ask, well, how sturdy does a rope bridge look? And the DM will say, "Well, give me a perception check." So you would roll a d20, and then it would say it would land on whatever number it is. Then you have like your character sheet, which you would then find perception on there, um, and you would add that to your roll. So you get a total of, let's say, 15 plus 4, 19. So then he would say, "Well, the rope bridge looks really ragged, and you guys are probably if you have more than two people on at a time, it'll probably collapse. You'll fall in the river and die." Um, so with that, let's get into character sheets. So each character sheet, this is one from a Rick and Morty Dungeons and Dragons game. But each character sheet has a bunch of stuff on it. It has, I probably can't see it, but your character's name, what class they are, which class is like a fighter, a wizard, a barbarian, a sorcerer, a healer, like all like anything that you can imagine um, you would need in like a fantasy game. Um, and then you have your race, which is can be like human, dwarfs, elves, half orcs, bird people flying around. You can be like a devil thing. You can be like a little hobbit. You can be like a goblin if you wanted to. Like I mean, the the world is yours for that. And then you have all these stats. Let's see if I can get that to focus. You have all these stats on the side here. Um, so these are going to be the determining factors on how well you can do at certain things. You have strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. Um, a lot of people like they like to min max their characters so that like I mean you'll be good at one thing but like not so good at another thing because if you were good at everything all the time like the game would not be fun because you'd always win and it's not always about winning. So if your character's like super strong, they're probably kind of dumb. So you'd have like high strength and then low intelligence. And then you have your HP, and then all your different uh, things that your skills go into, which is acrobatics, animal handling, arcana, insight, intimidation, investigation, nature, perception, sleight of hand, stealth, survival, just like anything that you think that you would need during like an adventure, is all calculated in there so that when you roll your dice, so after you make a decision and then you roll your dice, you can see how that decision plays out. Because just because you want it to go one way doesn't mean that fate is going to allow that. So that's kind of how the dice is. But that's basically Dungeons and Dragons. That's it.